Welcome. Deborah Leanne here, and I'm excited and terrified to bring this live to you. I always record the podcast live because I feel like if I recorded it and uploaded it later, it would keep me from being as true and on the edge as I am with you right now. We are going to look at authentic wisdom and the wisdom that we hold within. We are, as women, constantly wanting to grow and expand, especially with this latest, the quickening that has been going on and awakening and expansion of our consciousness and our abilities to see change. We all are broadening our visions. We're all hoping and believing and wanting to co-create something a little bit different than what we're seeing in our lives right now, or maybe a lot different. And what's fascinating to me is how much we think everybody else has the answer. We resonate with a teacher who's putting her work out in the world, or him, and we want to learn from them and read their books and take their programs and be coached by them and enter these several programs. And don't get me wrong, because I am getting ready to launch my Authentic Leadership Academy, and these programs are the potential grooming place or space to really step into more of who you are. And that's the difference. When we go and sit at a guru's feet and believe that they have the right answers for us, this is where I believe we're doing ourselves a disservice. Let's start off today. I've been remiss on doing this, and I want to get back into it, and I hope this will support you as well in getting into a present space of awareness. This is where I am more tapped into my inner guidance and wisdom and inspiration, and I would love to teach more and more women how to find what's true for them by learning to do these grounding and centering exercises on their own. So if you are in a space and place, hopefully not running in the park or driving a car, where you can close your eyes, or even if you keep them open, but you stare at a fixed, like right now I'm staring out the window at the tree branches dancing in the wind. There's something about staring at nature that allows us to calm our inner noise and also to remember that we are part of something so much bigger than what we think this body is right now. And we will slow our breaths down, breathing in through the nose and sending your breath all the way down through your belly, down your legs, and out the bottom of your feet. And another one. And this one, send it down the back of your body, enlivening and awakening the part of our back that gets so little attention when we can't see it in the mirror. And this last one, allowing all of us to fill up with beautiful, clean air and sending down all the energy, that nervousness that we don't need right now, out through the bottoms of our feet. We feel our feet and legs and know how strong and connected they are to the electromagnetic center of our planet Earth. And I just want to give thanks right now for the gravity that holds us in place, for the support that this chair and our planet holds us in at all times. When we are tapped into that, we can actually be energized more by knowing that it's not just ours, that we do not live here on our own, but that collectively we are all part of the web of life. And there's never a time when we have to force our way through this life on our own. The next thing that I want you to do, if you can, and I'm going to do it as well, is to just turn off all of the places where our mind is wanting to go, what's coming next, any questions about what this might mean, where this woman is going, questioning, do you have time for this? Anything that is calling you forward out of this moment, out of the present, or what is holding you back in the past, and noticing that we want to be here in this moment. So letting go what needs our attention or is wanting our attention, and then also doing our darndest to let that know, whether it's forward thinking problems to solve or what happened that is weighing on us in the past, that we'll get back to you, I promise. And maybe it won't be as big of a deal when we return our attention to it later. But in this moment, we want to feel the energy in our legs. We want to shift our bottom in our seats, or if we're standing, shift our weight back and forth to the side like you're rocking your system to a beautiful sense of safety. And this is where we are open to learning new. We are open to tapping into a new way of seeing things. I love the winds of change. They are really noisy out there, but it reminds me that nothing stays the same. The third part, after calling our energy forward and centering and grounding ourselves into our body, is to tap into our divine connection. And you can do that in a variety of ways, whether it's calling in your angelic guides or the God, Christ consciousness, or the universe, or whatever it is, that star, moon, or sunshine beam that is your unique thread and cord to your divinity and your highest self. We want to make sure we are aware of that now. We don't need to reconnect. We're always connected. But becoming aware and saying, some way of, I'm aware of this, I appreciate this, I'm grateful for this connection, allows it to get bigger and broader. It's like we become a magnet for additional support to come our way. And then by opening up as this radio tower to receive the divine guidance of whatever wants to come through my words or your body or your wisdom at this time, we just set that up and it's now on autoplay. We are charged, we are tuned in and turned on, and now we're turning that up. And from this space, if we were to ask ourselves something really simple, like, what is it that I want to do today that will allow me to feel the way I want to feel? What is it that I want to do today that will allow me to feel the way I want to feel? That's a Danielle Laporte prompt that I write about every single day. It really opens things up for me. Another one could be, what is in the way that if I acknowledged it, would allow it to heal and step aside so that I can be my biggest and brightest light today? Another way to think of that is, What is it that I'm pretending not to know that I do know? That if I were to release it, let it go, shift it, change it, breathe it out of my system, love it more, accept it, would allow me to become an even more authentic, beautiful light for myself and others in my life. And just sit with these questions. For me, very often, when I get ready to write a newsletter, record this podcast, do a video, have an important phone call where I'm engaging a new client or a potential client, I get so in my own way. And what I'm wanting to know is, where do you do that? And then where do you think, oh, well, if I just write out the template that I learned in that, creating and generating sales and attracting new clients, everybody else has their own system that works for them. And be cautious that you look at their template, but that you revise it in words that work and resonate and feel good to you, that allow you to step more deeply into your authentic wisdom, your authentic love for the work that you do, your authentic modeling of the brilliant light that you are, because that is how you uniquely show up in the world. That is how you do uniquely connect with others. And it is from a place of authenticity. What happens over and over again, I find with women, is we never feel like we're good enough. And I'm going to speak for myself here. Over and over again, I feel like I need to read another book. I'm in the middle of 3 or 4, 5 now that are sitting out in front of me with bookmarks in various places. I'm constantly looking at what kind of programs I need to take. What else do I need to learn? And I have to say, I'm really delighted to be a part of something right now, this mastermind, where we do learn something every time that we get together, every 2 weeks. And there's a lot of space for us to integrate it and interpret it in our own way. And it's bringing up different aspects of what we need to work on in our business for each of us. And it's so beautiful to see 5 of us business women, entrepreneurs, all creating something new, growing at such an expansive, quick, I don't even know how to describe it. Even since January when we started, some of this is even hard for us to recognize in ourselves and in each other. And what I love is that none of us are saying, this is the way to do it like me. Because we all know we need to try on and see what works for us. That is where we get to integrate and bring through our authentic wisdom. And the biggest thing to allow that to become stronger of a muscle, more of a go-to place that allows those intuitive downloads or inspired actions or really brilliant solutions to problems to come through for you, is when we do it more and more and more, and we trust it and we act on it. And we may hear something totally crazy. A face may pop into our mind, a name. We might go out into nature and just ask, what's my next step? What is it that's my soul of my business is calling forth in me today? And hear in the wind something that is exactly what we needed to know. A clear next step. We may not know where that's going to lead us, but we do know that if we take action on that, then there's this appreciation and it's like an accepting of the gift and sending a thank you note. You know how that creates a stronger bond and relationship between people? It's the same thing with ourselves. When our higher self delivers a brilliant solution to us, and we look at it and with skeptical, egoic mind say, oh, come on, really? Why would I want to do that? That seems crazy, or whatever. We discount it and we don't take action on it. That is like a slap in the face to spirit, to your highest self, to your guides, whatever you want to call your source of intuition. This has been one of the hardest things for me, is balancing listening to my own wisdom and wanting to learn from others. And I'm not saying don't learn from others, because we do have so much that we can share and ask from and glean from our communities, our business partners, our love partners for that matter, our children. And the place of coming from I don't have the answer, like I did this morning. It took me 4 hours to come up with a topic. I normally can get up and right away go right to podcast and create it, and it just flows from me. But what I've done is I got off into my headspace right away, which created the doubting mind, the inner critical mind. All of that got much more active because I went to technical issues this morning and looking at some marketing copy and how to fix some things and how can I set up a different payment source on my website, those kind of things, which took me away from my inspiration and where I normally go to draw from the topic of the day and where I'm going to go and recording the podcast. So I would really love for you to challenge yourself to sit before a problem that's coming up in front of you personally, professionally, and sit for 5 or 10 minutes, ground in, call your awareness to the moment, center into the present moment, tap into your divine source, and ask the question from within. One of the things that I've done in the past, I'm working on doing this with my eyes open more often. But in the past, I've actually closed my eyes and envisioned myself sitting in a temple with a bunch of my wisest guides and teachers all around me. And allowing the answers to come through to me without words. We don't use any words. I ask the question and just listen. You may hear words. You may see pictures. You might feel something in your body. And whatever that form is, trust it. And even if nothing comes through, trust that and know that it will. And then you'll be doing dishes or taking a shower or whatever, and this answer will come, boom, right to you. It's really beautiful. And then thank it, appreciate it, and act on it as soon as you possibly can. Because there's something juicy about moving quickly on that inspired action, because there's an extra power and potency that comes with tapping into that in that moment. That kind of falls away, and our brain can get overactive on analyzing it, and it loses its juice. It loses its extra charge. It gets diluted the longer we go. And I challenge you. Ask a question. You can ask the same one every day, which I do, especially that first one. What do I want to do today that will allow me to feel the way I want to feel? And it taps into all of my mind, heart, body, soul. It asks for wisdom from my body, from my spiritual connection, from my heart and emotions. And my mind gets to be there to help write the words down. So everybody gets to play a part. Or all of my parts anyway get to play a part. And that's what I've got for you today. I wish you so much wisdom. And I wish you delight in tapping into your inner wisdom. And I send you all kinds of beautiful energy to add to when you tap in and see what results. Oh, I'd so love to hear from you and let me know what comes of this. What question did you ask? What kind of responses did you get? What are you still waiting to learn from? Be fun to explore. And if you're interested in learning more about Authentic Leadership Academy, the cohort begins in April, on April 13th, with a full-day retreat workshop where we'll dive right into some deep and intense things and start off the 6-month intensive. It's only for those women that are ready to truly step into their authentic wisdom, their authentic leadership, and to really amplify their voice, their vision, and their value in the world. Connect with me in whatever way feels comfortable to you to learn more about that and how you can be a part. And until our next week of time together, practice your tapping into your authentic wisdom. Maybe as much as you do your searching and listening to everybody else's podcasts, including this, tap into your own. What does she want to tell you? Take excellent care, and we'll talk soon. I hope. Bye-bye.